A change in the Spurs starting lineup isn't enough to stop Golden State.
8 straight in the regular season and the first 2 of this first-round playoff series. They will move it now with a 2-0 lead for Durant and the Warriors to San Antonio.
Several Bexar County Sheriff's deputies break down in tears while testifying about discovering 2 young children held in the backyard of a Northeast Side house.
Children that were bound by the ankles and wrists with dog chains and leashes and left outside in the rain.
And high construction costs and an influx of new downtown hotel rooms scraps plans for a 100-room boutique hotel on the Riverwalk. I'm Chance Storlin with your Express Briefing for Tuesday, April 17th. Subscribe to this and other free content at expressnews.com/podcasts. And get each day's top news and sports headlines delivered to your inbox at expressnews.com/newsletters. Monday, during the first day of testimony in the trial of DeAndre Jerome Dortch, who faces 2 counts of injury to a child, serious bodily injury, several Bexar County Sheriff's deputies broke down in tears as they testified about discovering 2 young children, bound like animals at their ankles and wrists, being held in the backyard of a Northeast Side house. I spoke with San Antonio Courts reporter Elizabeth Zavala about the case for this week's episode of The Docket, a podcast from the Express News discussing law and crime in San Antonio, available for free at expressnews.com/podcasts.
Dortch and Phillips lived together at the home, and they told authorities that they were watching these 2 children for their friend Cheryl Reed, whom they said they knew from California, where each had lived before coming together to Texas. So after the 2 children were freed that had been outside, deputies discovered Portia Phillips' 6 children between the ages of 10 months and 11 years old by themselves inside the home. So there was no adult present, and authorities at that time determined that at least 3 of those children inside the home were the children of DeAndre Dortch and Portia Phillips.
Zavala says the current trial of DeAndre Dortch is just the beginning for the shocking case.
DeAndre Dortch, he's 38 years old now, and he's the first person to go to trial in the case. In October of last year, Portia Phillips pleaded guilty to 2 counts of injury to a child, serious bodily injury, and was sentenced to 50 years in prison on each count. And those sentences will run at the same time. And Cheryl Reed, the mother of those 2 children that were tied up like dogs outside, is currently still in the Bexar County Jail, and she is awaiting her trial, which we hear, should be coming up pretty soon.
The 2 children were found by deputies in April of 2016 after a neighbor called 911. While construction was scheduled to begin this spring on a 100-room, 7-story boutique hotel on the Riverwalk, part of the Saint Hotel chain operated by Florida-based Seaside Hospitality Corporation, with a 1-story Depression-era building even being demolished to make way for the project. High construction costs and an influx of new hotel rooms downtown have led Dallas developer Mark Wyant to abandon the project. The nearly 1/5 acre property, assessed earlier this year at $1.9 million, is now up for sale. Despite the death of this project, several other new hotels do remain in the works downtown, including a 9-story hotel currently under construction about a block away from where the Saint Hotel was to be built. And wearing a sport coat and a big smile, Steph Curry watched another lopsided Warrior win as the Spurs fell 116-101 on Monday night for an 0-2 deficit in their first-round playoff series. As Curry likely remains out for the entire series nursing a sprained left knee, the Warriors used all their offensive power they have to take home the first 2 home games in the best-of-7 series. Despite Spurs coach Greg Popovich's decision to go with Rudy Gay in the lineup for Kyle Anderson to generate more scoring, the Spurs struggled to make shots in their second loss to Golden State.
I was pleased with them tonight. They executed the game plan wonderfully. I thought their physicality was great. We were aggressive, played very well. Both teams are going to make mistakes here and there, and that's fine. But the ball has to go in the basket, and that's the difference in the ballgame. They shot 50% from three, and I don't know what we shot, 14%, 4 for 28 or something like that. That's tough to overcome. But I was really happy with their execution and their aggressiveness, and hopefully we'll keep that and stick together. But you got to make shots, and it's been like that the entire year on the road for us, for whatever reason, and it really showed up tonight. So that made it very difficult.
San Antonio Express News Spurs beat reporter Jabari Young asked Popovich about the change in the team's lineup for its now second loss to the Warriors.
Coach, obviously you went with Rudy in the starting lineup. Did you get what you wanted from him tonight?
Sure. Yeah, he gives us another offensive player on the court. They're already a great defensive team, but if we have too many non-shooters on the court, it makes it really, really difficult for us. So he helps us in that regard.
Find more insight from Spurs beat reporter Jabari Young on our podcast, The Spurs Insider, available for free at expressnews.com/podcasts. The series now shifts to San Antonio for Game 3 at the AT&T Center on Thursday. And that's your daily San Antonio Express News briefing for Tuesday, April 17th. Subscribe to this and other free content at expressnews.com/podcasts. I'm Chance Dorland.